we do things at the restaurant, we kind of make things. We have to make things a little more, a little fancy. We'll make little idea bubbles. We'll start with something is the main focus of the dish. In this case, would be strawberries, and then you kind of branch out from the strawberry. What goes with strawberries? Well, cheese. What you want to have happen is you want it all to complement each other in the end. So the strawberries should complement the cheese, should complement the pea shoots, the dill, everything. So we don't really do. Everybody thinks we work some kind of magic at the restaurant, but we really don't. It's just a whole bunch of little things put together. That's all. Now, pea shoots are great if you don't know about pea shoots. They kind of have. It's tough to. They taste like peas. I know that's not really surprising that they taste like peas, but they're great. They're a nice little byproduct of the peas instead of just eating peas. There's a lot of things that people don't eat, like the beet greens, like the radish tops. It's all very good. Everything on the table is edible. As far as presenting the food goes, just if you cut things in a different manner. Most people are used to cutting cucumbers just across like that. If you cut them across like this, it looks a little different. So strawberries and dill, I like to think work together very well, which also works together with the cucumber and the radishes. This is really going to be the end of the salad for this one. The only thing, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of olive oil over the top. I'll season it with a little bit of salt. I'll season it with a good amount of pepper because the pepper will kind of offset the sweet that's in the strawberry jam. It'll be a nice little spicy note to the whole deal. And a couple drops of lemon juice to kind of cut through the fat in the cheese. So I'm going to put a couple flower petals on for a little garnish here. So
and let's just review what went into it so people can duplicate this at home. There's a slice of Alamar Bent River Camembert, and you put some strawberry jam around it and on top of it. And then strawberries, sliced radishes, pea shoots, dill, nasturtiums, a little olive oil. Oh, don't want to forget the cucumbers. And did you add some lemon juice and some salt?
A little lemon juice, salt and pepper on it. So just to kind of cut through the fat, and then the pepper to kind of cut through the sweetness a little bit. So.
And all the cheese and all of these fruits and vegetables are available here at the Minneapolis Farmers Market.
A lot of times people tell me that their asparagus is kind of dirty tasting. Well, it's not dirty tasting. It's actually dirty. The piece I had a little bit of sand in it, and that's to be expected. It grows in the ground. What do you do? So you wash it, and it still has some sand in it. So what we do at the restaurant, for two reasons. All the asparagus has these little leaves on it that kind of go up at the top, and then they come together and they make the nice asparagus tip. Well, we pick them off for two reasons. One is because that's where the dirt likes to hide, is in there. And then second, it makes it look very nice too. And everything at Belle Vie's got to look nice, that's the deal. I'm going to slice the asparagus thin. Like this. Usually I would use a mandolin, but of course I was at work too late last night and forgot some of my stuff. So in the bowl, in there, I will put some lemon juice. So the lemon juice will kind of break down the salad. It'll break down I'm going to get a little scientific here. it'll break down the cells in the asparagus and make it a little more pliable. So if you take a whole asparagus, shave it on the mandolin, you can have like asparagus noodles. So it'll be like asparagus tagliatelle. So it's a nice way to serve asparagus without having to cook it. You just sprinkle a little lemon juice on it, and then in a couple minutes it'll be nice and bendable. So a little salt. Toss that together, and then I'm going to set it aside. So then the next part, we're going to do a little beet. Kind of going to do the beet the same way. So this is a cooked dish without actually cooking anything, which is nice. Because I don't have central air in my house.
Ooh. These are the first beets of the season, so they're very sweet. It's a good day to buy beets.
Yes, I was very excited to see the beets too. Beets are one of my favorite vegetables. They're always on the menu at La Belle. Well, not always, I shouldn't say that. 99% of the time they're on the menu at La Belle Vie. So there should be some other varieties coming soon, I'm sure. There will be some chiogas and yellows.
Yeah, there are. Heino Farm today has candy striped beets. Those are the ones that are red and white inside, and golden beets. So you can already find a couple of varieties.
Yeah, the chioga or the candy striped beets would be an excellent one to do for this dish also, because when you slice them, they have a white vein and a red vein that runs through, and it's cool looking since they're not cooked. Basil and strawberries goes together extremely well. The way I like to look at it is if it's in season now, it goes together pretty much. Basil is excellent right now. I know everybody thinks basil is in season all the time, but up here basil is really only in season during the summer. So, and if it grows now, it goes with it. That's kind of the way I like to look at it. Zucchini goes with basil. Everything goes with basil. Italian things go with basil. All right. So for this one, we're just going to scatter some strawberries around. I'm going to use some more jam just because I got it. Okay.
Do you often use jams for presentation and or cooking?
Not at all. No, I would use some kind of strawberry, like for this dish I might do like a puree, like strawberry puree, or I might do also a beet puree with this one, or like a beet strawberry puree, just a combination of the two. But I don't know that I would necessarily. For me, I don't know that I would want as much sugar necessarily as is in a jam. So I for sure would want to balance it with good acid if I had the jam, depending on how sweet the strawberries are, how sweet everything is. So that's why this one actually I'm going to use some sushi vinegar for this dish. I'm just going to drizzle a little bit over the top as a garnish at the end. So, beets are on there. I don't know, you guys can see up there probably. Beets are on there, cucumbers, asparagus. Now, I'm going to use a lot of basil in this one, just as a garnish, as a flavoring component, because the basil kind of has a cooling effect. Basil and mint. I don't know if you've ever eaten mint and you just kind of feel cooler. I know your mouth feels cooler because of the chemical in the mint, but as far as basil, it's kind of the same thing. It has a cooling effect, and everybody wants to be a little cooler this time of year.
Do you ever use any of the other basil varieties like lemon basil or Thai basil or opal basil?
I do use the opal basil every now and then. Thai basil I like a little bit, as it has a sharper flavor, so I do use that a little bit. Like lemon basil and cinnamon basil, I don't use those as much, because if I want the basil flavor, usually I just want the basil flavor. If it works its way into the dish, it works its way into the dish. So, but I really just, my background is originally Italian food, so I just like regular basil, straight up plain basil. So then I'll take a little bit of the smaller basil leaves and kind of use them as a whole garnish around the plate. Just a nice little garnish. So this is a nice red and green plate here. So I will add some red and purple and white and purple flowers to it. Flowers, like I was saying earlier, flowers just add a nice color to everything. Some of them do. Nasturtiums have a lot of flavor. Some flowers don't have a lot of flavor. They just add a nice. They're just nice for presentation. It's very nice to have on there. Something makes it just for garnish. It's just for garnish. And a little bit of olive oil. Always with the olive oil. I don't know. Salad I think has to have a little olive oil on it. And a little bit of the sushi vinegar. The sushi vinegar, I don't know about this one, but most of the time it's a little less acidic than regular vinegar, like white vinegar or apple cider vinegar. This one is 4.1 pH, which is not super acidic. And then it's always seasoned with a little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt. So I think that is this one here.
Lovely. Let's have applause for these beautiful dishes.
I'm sure it doesn't look very simple. Anybody just came, I'm sure they would think that it didn't look very simple. But as you saw, it was actually very simple. You know, and it's easy to put together for 4, 8, 10 people.
I think one of the most interesting things you said that is, if it's in season, it goes together, which can really guide you when you're shopping the market. If it's in season, you can put it in a dish together.